Hi everyone, this is Cindy with Creating with the Heart, and today I have a really quick and simple tutorial on how to use the paper tray ink, and they have these tutorials on their blog as well, but I'm making a project, so I thought I would show you guys. They have these movers and shakers dies, and they have two of these. I don't know if you've seen them. They have these cards that move, and people have used pennies and that sort of thing to make them. What's really nice is they've gone ahead and Paper Tray Ink has created dies and a system for putting these cards together that are really easy. So when you get them, there's this die and then there's a wiggly one, and I have not used the wiggly one yet, so that'll be for another day. And then it comes with this. So the suggestion is to use lightweight chipboard when using this mechanism, because this is the mechanism that's going to do your movement. This just cuts your hole, and then this is the mechanism. Now I don't have light chipboard. I only have coasters, which are medium weight, so I went ahead and used my medium weight and it did pretty well. So when you cut everything together, so what I did for my front of my card, now I'm using the paper pad that I'm using is Lime Twist Out of the Blue is what I'm using. And what I did for my card is I went ahead and I just layered my paper on top first, and then I cut the mechanism out right here, the hole out. That way my paper would line up correctly and I would have some decoration on top. I mean, basically. So for this, yikes, I'm sticking. Okay. So what I did for this is a 5.5 by 4.25 card. So my base is this olive, and then I used two different patterns from the paper stack, and the paper is 5.25 by 4, and then just cut in half. So 1/2 would be for the bottom and 1/2 would be for the top. And so I've got my hole there. And then I use this piece to cut out my chipboard. And so you're left with these two big pieces and these two small pieces. And so the way that they work is you glue the two small pieces together and you sandwich them between the two big pieces. And so you're left with this gap. And this gap is what rolls in the mechanism. So what I did was I glued the two little pieces together and then glued it on one of the bigger pieces and then placed it in the bottom of my mechanism. And then I put glue on here. And once I had it in the mechanism, I just placed this one on top. So now you have this rolling mechanism right here. Now, in order to allow it to move freely, you have to place everything on foam tape to give it a little raised surface so that it's got room to move. Because if you just put it flat on your card, it will not move because it'll just be stuck down on your card base. So this is kind of what you have to do to get that going. And then it looked very plain because the image that I decided to use really could have been better for this card. So, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, I cut out a piece of green just to go right on top. So I'm going to go ahead and place that on top right now. And that's what happens. Sometimes things are, you know, hit or miss. You try something and it works or it doesn't work. But hopefully we learn from that mistake. So I learned that my image has to be a little wider. Anyway, because they were trains, I decided to use trains for my image, and the trains kind of had holes and they just didn't work really well. So anyway, this is my card base, and this is what gets left over. So 5.5 by 4.25 card base, and so I'm going to take all of my foam off, and I'm going to place it on my actual card. So this was really easy to use. It just needed a lot of preparation. Thanks. And a lot of foam tape. So let's get that off of here. And you can get like free coasters all the time, or not free, but dollar coasters from the Target dollar spot. A lot of times has little coasters that would be perfect to cut these little mechanisms out. Okay, so, and it still moves. So here's my actual card all put together, and you can see the little rolling mechanism. So I cut out out of the Beep Beep cartridge, I cut out 2 trains. And what happened was I cut this train out first, and it was really, really, really too small. So I had to cut out another train. I cut one out just a little bit bigger. I didn't want to cut it out too big, otherwise it wouldn't move very far if it was too big. So I cut it out at, I think it was 1.5, and then this one is at, let's see, this one's at 1.5, and this one is at 1.25. So 1.25, 1.5, and I cut out all the layers. And then what I did was I went along the smoke with my cool gray Copic marker, and then I did some stickling. So a little bit of stickles just to kind of give it a little shimmer, and then I stickled the red part of the train, and I think it came out really cute. So for my card, I want my train to fit here. And I put some score tape on the back because I'm not putting tape on all of it, so I really want it to stick. So I used the score tape to make sure that it stuck. So this, and put this down there. Okay, so there's my train. And then my little train is going to fit here. So see how they look like they're ships passing in the night. And this one I went ahead and I did on foam tape. The other train I did on foam tape. And I think this would be a really cute card for a little boy, which he will eventually destroy. But in the meantime, he'll have some fun with it because it's kind of, you know, playful. So I'm going to put this train up here. And so here is my card, and my sentiment that says, "Look out, here comes trouble," which is a super, super cute sentiment, comes from Paper Tray Ink Boy Basics Truckin' It. And so it actually has a die that comes with it that's got, because it's got a little fire engine, a couple cars, and then it's got a die. And so I just stored the die with the stamp set for this one. And so that's really cute. And so here is my finished card. And you can see that it moves. Isn't that so cute? See it move? Yay, it works. So it's very easy, and it actually will kind of move all around. And whoo, see, it kind of moves. Very cute. Super cute. I think a little boat would be cute too. Okay, and then my little train up here. So this is my finished card. I'm sorry if it was a little scattered, but I had to put all the pieces together and remember how everything went so I could explain it to you guys. But thank you very much for watching today, and I'm sure that you could probably make mechanisms like this out of your Cricut. Sometimes I just don't have the patience, especially when someone else has done the work for me. It's sometimes worth the money to go ahead and to buy the dies for some things. So I hope you enjoyed the short little tutorial today. This is Cindy with Creating with a Heart.